Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. Motivated mornings, motivated mornings. Tune in, y'all. Motivated mornings. Thank y'all for tuning in. Good morning, good morning. Bless you, boss. Wanted to talk to y'all for a moment about uh, the difference, the difference between losers and winners and losers. Um, there's some, things that we associate winners with and successful people with, and sometimes we want to put it on the lucky bus and say that all they're lucky. Good morning, good morning. Say that all they're lucky, and say that they're just fortunate. It was handed to them. We want to make all these excuses on why they have it and we don't. But the actual fact of the matter is, they just got some things done. Um, in this 2023 year, it's more about execution. You cannot afford to just have a plan, have a goal. It's not enough just to have those things, a dream, a vision, because everybody's had dreams, everybody's had goals, everybody's had uh, a want to, a desire to. But what separates a desire from actually fulfillment and having it come to pass is somebody made up their mind they got to get it done. And I want to talk about that difference, the difference in mindsets between a person who just want to halfway do something and a person who wants to make something happen, that's going to see the results that they need to see. And that comes from that mindset of winner loser. I was just looking at this past weekend a couple fights that I had the opportunity to watch, and as I was looking at the fighters, I'm just thinking in my mind, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Especially the fighters that were down. One fight, great fight. I actually think they gave the wrong person the victory. But hey, I'm not no judge of no fights. I don't know. But the fight went as such. One guy number guy number one, and guy number two. We're just gonna call them. I don't even know their names. But guy number one had primarily through the whole fight had been winning. He's in front in the numbers and all of that. And here it comes to the last round. I think it's the 10th round. I don't think they went 12 rounds. I think they went 10. But let's just say they went to the last round, and the fighter corner for the person that was losing, fighter number two, the fighter corner said to him, "You gotta knock him out. You gotta knock him out. You gotta leave it on the line. You gotta knock him out." And prior to when he was coming back to the corner, it just looked like he was just accepting of the defeat. It didn't look like he had any fight in him. But after his corner told him in that last round, "You got to win. You got to knock him out," he came out of that last round and he went full force at him and knocked him down twice. I think three times. Should have been three times he got knocked out, but he got knocked down twice. Ends up winning the fight because he chose to not accept defeat. He chose to listen to his corner and go out there and fight. And I just want to encourage somebody that it may look like a battle that has been lost. It may look like the war has been lost, but you got some more fight in you. And the problem is there's not people around you that support that fight in you. So many people will look at your situation and then try to down you, or just try to keep you in the same box they're in, or keep you in the same box you used to be in. But nobody wants to speak life into other people and tell them, hey, you got more fight in you. You better than what you how you treating yourself. You got more life in you. You cannot afford to just accept that defeat like that, because what's on the line is not only this fight, but that mindset is on the line. You're on the verge of breaking that mindset that says that I can't do. You're on the verge of breaking that mindset that says this is how far I come and then I just lose. You're on the verge of breaking that mindset, and you gotta break it by pressing past it. You gotta break it by getting things done. You gotta say, I'm not gonna be content with just allowing this mindset to keep ruling my life, because your mind is designed to move away from pain towards pleasure. So anything that is going to cause you to have to go through something, you're going to have to will it. It ain't going to just be something that just comes to you easy. And in fact, the enemy doesn't want you to just get it that easy. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to will it to be. And that means taking your mind off of your present situation, off of the things that are not working, put it on the things that are working, and make sure that you keep it there. Your focus, we talked about yesterday, keeping your focus guarded so that you're not scattered, and that way you can see some results. Same thing here. If you don't have that mindset that I'm going to win, if you don't have that, and it's not something that you can necessarily be taught. You got to get in the fight. You got to find out who you are in the fight and find out what you're made of, and then continue to press past those limitations that you've previously set for yourself and that your mind was set up. I was doing some research, and one of the things they tell us about our mind is that it's got this thing called I'm just going to call it a web for whatever reason, and it likes to have this web be in order. Like it likes to have that web be there, and so it designs things and it sets up stuff in your mind that makes sure that you stay within that web. So if you're used to going this way to work, your mind just automatically goes that way because of that web. But when you switch things up, if you do something different, you're adding to that web. You're creating a new norm for the web that's in your mind. And so what you got to do is make sure that you're not committing yourself to the old web, because the old web wants to keep you where you are, but you're creating a new by transform. That's one of the things that the Bible talks about, being transformed by the renewing of your mind. You got to replace it. That old way of thinking has gotten you to this point, but can that same thinking get you to the point where you want to be? And if you be honest with yourself, the answer is no, because if it could, you've been there. You would have already been there. You've already would have accomplished the goals you need to accomplish. But this is mere fact that you got to let some stuff go. You got to cut some stuff off. You got to quit thinking the way you've been thinking, quit going about it the way you've been going about it, and you got to start getting stuff done. That's what I wanted to talk about today. A couple of things in order to make execution a possibility. You got to get something done, and the things that you got to get done, you got to know that you got to get them done. So you got to make you some lists. You got to get frank about what you're trying to do, and you got to work backwards. You got to say, I want to be here. What does it take to get here? What do people that are here do? What do people, how do people that are here think? And then I got to work back. I got to now change my mind, change how I'm operating to correspond with that, because I no longer want to be here. I know how to think here. I know how to work here. I know how to be here, but I need to get here. So now I got to exchange. I got to exchange my old way of thinking from here to here. And then I got to refuse to go back. That's the problem, is we get introduced to new things, but we go back. And so that going back has us in a cycle that is now creating a pattern in your mind that we go, but we go back. We go, but we go back. We go, but we go back. I think I talked about this before. And so now you got to break that cycle. You got to break that cycle by saying, I refuse to go back, because I know what back is. I know what I get with back. I know what happens when I do the back stuff. But what happens when you go forward and you stay forward and you keep going forward, and you know that sometimes I got to lose things to go forward, sometimes I got to lose people to go forward, but I still need to go forward. Why? Because not only And most people get hung up in this. We had a conversation about this in the barbershop, and it was like the conversation was about Jay-Z and Dame, and how he felt like. Um, one opinion was that I don't care what it takes. I ain't gonna just uh, make a decision for no money. I ain't gonna leave my guys, my A1s for some money. And supposedly what Jay-Z left for was some money. And supposedly he left because some people told him, you gotta open up your thinking, you gotta separate from that old stuff so you can get this new stuff. And by him separating, he went up, and Dame kind of stayed where he was or went down. And people's like, I'm not gonna sell out my guys for that. But the thing about it is, we be loyal to a fault. And not I'm not encouraging disloyalty. I'm not encouraging that. But I'm gonna say this: you got to be loyal to yourself first. You got to be loyal to yourself first, and you got to make sure that you give those people that you are loyal to as many opportunities as possible. If you're that committed to them, if you're that committed to making sure that your A1s and the people around you and your family get there, you got to give them as many opportunities as possible. And if you stay where you are, yeah, y'all cool. Yeah, y'all gonna be all right. But the thing about it is, nobody is giving them opportunities to say we can work at this level. Hey, I tried it, man. I went over there. I know y'all feel like I left y'all. I had to be separated, but I went over here and found the keys. Now here's the keys. I'm gonna give you the keys. This is how my loyalty works. That I'm gonna go over here and get the keys, and I'm gonna give you the keys. I'm not coming back to give you the keys. I'm gonna show you what the keys are. So that means I'm going over here, and if you want what I got, or if you want what is over here, you gotta come. You got to come, because we know what over there looks like. We know what that keeps us. We know what that keeps our mindset. And so that's the thing about it. Are you going to be loyal to the people around you enough to go get what you need to get so that they can have an opportunity, or at least a witness to say it can be done? At least a possibility. Give them a possibility that it can be done over here. Now that we're tired of operating like we operated the last time, like we operated last year, where we said we wanted to do stuff, and we put stuff out there in the atmosphere, and putting it out in the atmosphere is not enough. You got to do something about what you put in the atmosphere. What are you doing about what you put in the atmosphere? Huh? What are you doing about it? Are you going out and get it? Because we have gotten a hold of this new thinking, this new way of stuff, like this whole manifesting and things of that sort. And we just think it just doesn't come with any work. Oh, I got a good morning, good morning. We don't think it comes with any work. We think it just comes with, yeah, I think about it, I say it, and it's gonna show up. You fooling yourself. You fooling yourself. You got to do some work. And when you get to uh, come to grips with the fact that you got to do some work, you'll start putting in the work, and then you'll start seeing the results. And once you start seeing the results, you'll create. This is the thing about it is, we aren't hungry and thirsty for success enough. We hungry and thirsty for the things we have because we're content with it. You're content with being on TikTok for an hour and a half, but you're not content with putting that hour and a half to something useful. Have you checked your time, your average time a day on social media? They got a thing on there where you can check your average time a day. I try to keep mine under an hour. Average. Why? Because it's just not gonna profit me nothing. I know y'all cool. I know we friends on Facebook, but it don't profit me nothing to be looking at problems and situations, especially if it's a problem situation. If something uplifting, helpful, hey, good job. Let's support it. But one, I don't have enough time to be on there like that. Two, if it's not going to be uplifting and beneficial, I'm not going to support it. I don't have time to be looking at people online fighting. It's retarded stuff. How do we get a kick out of this stuff? What did this stuff become acceptable? It's because we ain't got no goal. We ain't got no focus. And so if you ain't focused on something, it's easy to be distracted. It's easy to be off. But when you get focused, you can notice when something's off. You can notice when something is unproductive because you've been productive. And we got to create a new culture of that kind of thing rather than the things we're used to, the things we've been used to. I just want to encourage somebody, because I won't take it for granted that you got somebody around you that's willing to encourage you, because I've been in circles where everybody's out for self. Nobody's really trying to encourage one another, huh? But it's time that we get up. It's time that we go get what we're supposed to have, and that's going to take us getting stuff done. Make your list today. Check some stuff off. Get some stuff done. Make some progress so that you can create a culture for your life, that you get stuff done. You make progress. All right. I hope that bless y'all. If it did, share it with somebody else. This has been Motivated Mornings. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Love you.